Is it fine?
Dear students, we comes to an end of CBE sessions. Today we have the last but one topic of case analysis. So do you know in every paper we have one section in examinations case study. Not only for that, as an MBA graduate, you should able to develop, write, and discuss cases. I think today's session gives some inputs how to do case analysis.
Is it
Now I'm
okay,
requesting.
Upandu? Can you
Yes,
kindly
it's
check
okay,
on
sir. Yes, it's okay, sir.
YouTube లో కూడా ఉందా కదా? ప్రాబ్లం లేదుగా?
No, no issues, sir.
Okay. Can I start?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So it is streaming in YouTube also. I'm not getting it. That's why I'm asking.
yes. It is streaming, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Uh, Good morning, friends, again, who joins me on this master class on case methods. This session would be devoted to the importance of case method in MBA programs, a step-by-step guide to MBA students to help themselves understand why a completely a professional approach needed, right from reading the case to complete giving conclusion or recommendations on the case problem that is given to you. Now know that most of you know that it is a Harvard model where case method has been introduced. That actually liberates students from the textbook environment. So you'll be placed in a real life scenario once you start reading the case sincerely. So then you need to highlight the important insights, what are being stated there in the case study. And then it asks you to suggest certain important solutions or alternatives to the given problem that's there. There are two types of cases normally we discuss here. One is a diagnostic case study, and second one is a therapeutic case study. In the sense that in a diagnostic case study, you are asked to identify the problem. That's all. That means a very detailed information will be given to you. Maybe 2-3 pages of information will be given to you, and you'll be asked to highlight what are the undercurrents and what exactly the problem in this scenario. That's it. So you need to one by one points. We need to mention how you perceive that there is a problem in this particular organization or the case that's being discussed. The second one is you're not supposed to stop at finding out the problem, but you are asked to present certain suggested, some important solutions for that, your suggestions as such. So your job becomes a little tougher when you would like to give the solutions as well, and all the solutions must be weighed in terms of their practicality. Am I clear? Because all these things are to be considered important. So to give you that kind of taste, case method has been introduced as a methodology for most of the management programs in business schools. So let us examine the inside out of this. What is the professional approach needed for you in the process of answering cases? The importance of case method, just I was telling you, in most of the business schools and MBA programs as such, in MBA education. First point is it bridges theory and practice, because what you study in a classroom, you are trying to experiment in a real life scenario, and all your learnings will be taken, and then you're asked to use your learnings in the given set of circumstances and ask you to react. And the second is real life scenarios normally enhance your practical approach of answering different things. Instead of staying in textbooks, come out and work out on real cases. Then understanding of theoretical concepts is more practical here. So you study, for example, you study how branding is to be done and all that, right? Say in marketing example I'm taking. Now you would be presented a case of a marketing issue, problem where branding issues will be discussed there. So is this a name which can be best suited for this particular product, etc. So like some practical cases with full of practical problems will be discussed there. So you can understand actually the theoretical concept that you discuss from textbook environment. Once you try to apply the theory into practice, then it improves your decision making skills. Fantastic, because you decision making is all about defining a problem, analyzing problem, developing different alternatives, evaluate all different alternatives from certain parameters, and suggest a solution, and implement this, review the performance of your decision, take the feedback, and come back. This is a cycle. So if you study a case, practical case, what happens is there's a chance for you to improve your decision making skills. Is there a problem? Is there? So defining the problem, right from defining the problem to suggesting a solution, your best method is involving yourself in case method of training. Then it simulates the business challenges requiring critical thinking and judgment. See, when you open a case for reading, you find a lot of challenges you have, because you need to think very critically, and you are not supposed to give a premature judgment. Take the case in crystal clear terms, reading two times, three times as such. So, of course, if you would like to take this as an examination standpoint, the situation is different. You can't spend more time on case reading and all that. But still, there is a sufficient time given for you to read the case and present the case. No, don't worry about it. So that's the reason why you have to manage your question paper answering also in such a fashion that you should give sufficient time for you to go for case analysis answers, answering case analysis. So most of the students, what they do is they don't concentrate on case analysis. They take too much of time on writing down the theory questions and answers to theory questions, and left out with 10 or 15 minutes for case. Then it's absolutely impossible for you to go for analytical thinking and critical judgment and all that, because you're being warned by warning bells like 10 minutes time and 5 minutes time and all that. So that's one thing is you will be definitely losing marks because you're not attempting a case study in its scientific way. And number two is you lose a lot of opportunity to get involved in that particular case study. Am I clear what I'm saying? Of course, the objective of you today now is to score a good mark in an examination standpoint. But at the same time, with case analysis also, you can go good. That's what I'm saying. So all the practical discussions that go in a classroom, I think Upendra sir is doing a lot of service in giving you practical inputs to a lot of business problems. So try to capture the learnings what sir is giving, and then make your attempt to get into the practical scenarios as such. Another aspect that I need to tell you is it develops analytical and problem solving abilities and skills. See, you should be able to look at the problem in different dimensions. That's why I already told you it's not simply defining the problem. See, we will be failing on defining the problem also. See, if you can't read the case clearly, what happens is because when there is a problem is there, you identify that there's a B problem. No, that's wrong. Unless you study well the case, it's very difficult. If you identify B as a problem, a wrong problem, and you will be suggesting wrong solutions because there is no B problem as such. The problem is A, not B. So here at the first step, you need to go in for identification of the problem, define it in crystal clear terms. Then, of course, you will be analyzing it. That's why analysis is very, very important, even to identify the problem. And then problem solving is another aspect. The next aspect would be the problem solving abilities. So case analysis is this training you can get. Then it encourages identification of key issues, causes, and solutions. See, you need to go deep into the case problem for study. What you come to know is you can identify easily the key issues. That, see, for every problem, there are a lot of issues surrounding around the major problem. But if you want to answer a major problem, then all other issues get solved. So if you would like to have a very, very specific analytical mind in the process of reading the case, it encourages identification of key issues and causes. You can identify what is the problem and what is the cause for this, what is the effect, and what sort of solutions that can offer to answer these causes. All these things are made known. Then another aspect, of course, I need not have to overemphasize. When you're analyzing the case and presenting, your presentation skills also will improve. See, you must have to grab the opportunity to present your skill as such, right? Maybe, of course, in the examination standpoint, it is your written communication skill, how you analyze the problem, how you are presenting it, how differently you view the problem, how you analyze it, and all. You would be writing in simple, nice English language. So that's a presentation skill, right? Then enhances communication. It enhances communication definitely because you'd like to articulate your ideas before others. See, please do not think that this is only from the examination standpoint of view. In most of the interviews, also job interviews, when you get into in group discussions, you will be given a problem and analyze, and then at the end you are supposed to present. Of course, you can assume the role of a leader or a presenter, whatever it is. It depends upon the situation and the interview environment and all that. So, and in that case, you should have a verbal communication. So all these things are very, very important. Minded. Today's recruitment exercises are differently placed. So don't think in terms of examination standpoint and all. Go beyond that. Okay. Then students learn to express the ideas logically and persuasively. Very, very important. Which comes first point? Which comes second point? How can you persuade the management that this is the problem and this is the solution that we need to take? So this kind of exposure you can get only when you have a practical approach of studying a case and presenting a case. And of course, it builds confidence in handling uncertain situations because case is with full of some problem, a hidden problem is there. So you can I mean, when you have a solution for that, yes, it builds confidence in handling uncertain situations. And of course, it develops the ability to make decisions with incomplete data. See, what happens is when a problem is there, you need an immediate solution. You can't claim, see, I want more and more data and all more. Nobody gives you data. You should have your own ability to assess the situation because you being the manager in a scenario, nobody is interested to give you data. There may be hidden data that's there. If your ability to go deep into the thing is your problem. It's your skill. So of course, taking a decision with incomplete data is harmful for the organization. I'm not saying that it is congenial, but don't wait for complete data. That's a problem. How many days you wait for complete data? There's a problem, burning issue there, and you can't think of collecting a lot of data and all. So that's what it means. See, for example, there's a fire accident. and 5 people came, and then they started looking at different things. See, you can't just simply say that, no, I wait and let us see what is, what do you call, what is the cause and all that. Let us see where it is goes. No, immediate thing is you have to use fire extinguishers or water for pipes to first of all get rid of that fire. So like that. Then of course it encourages peer learning in group scenarios, especially I'm talking to you. When four people sit together, your classmates sit together over a case and start discussing it. Of course, you'll be doing it in the classroom with the initiative of Upendra sir again. It encourages peer learning, one-to-one learning. Your classmates, their points of view may be different, your point of view may be different. How to recognize and all is very interesting. And discussions of this sort definitely expose students to multiple perspectives. So, what happens when you are going through this kind of a scenario? The ideas that you cannot get by sitting single, alone, and work out on a piece of paper. Now, when you work out with your classmates or friends or whatever, then you can understand. Yeah, oh, okay, there are certain other perspectives also. My perspective may be wrong. There are other perspectives as well. You can understand that. See this kind of very good learning that you can have on on case method of training. But unfortunately, student teams are not at all interested. I'm not talking about all, but normal pattern is that you are not taking case methods as a learning input. Just looking at examination standpoint and you stop there. Okay, don't worry. But my point is not a. It's not commenting on anybody, but my experience of looking at students who are not serious of taking case method as a training input. That's it. Anyway, that's a different story by itself. But then the second important aspect when we refer to case method is that how to approach a case study. That's it. Because most of you are very much interested to go through. Because the first important thing is, first step is initial reading. That's why we tell you, irrespective of the medium you studied up to graduate level, you have to master English language, both spoken, written, verbal, all very important. So at this point, what I say is, in order to get the big picture of the case, initial reading, complete reading of the case is very, very important. When you read through the case with presence of mind, 100% presence of mind. It's not a casual reading, mind it, because there may not be any time for you to go for revised training. I'm referring to examination considerations standpoint. You may not have sufficient time to read twice, thrice, 4 times, and all that. But that's why you read the case clearly, sentence by sentence. Take some time at the beginning, so you can get a big picture. Very, very important. Otherwise, you'll be losing some things. Okay, read the case thoroughly. First reading is not without quick analysis, man. Don't bother about it. First of all, you try to identify. So what happens here is our mind works very fast sometimes. That you will be thinking of suggesting many. No, please read the case thoroughly and first reading without analysis. Then understand the case setting. It can be of different subject areas. It can be finance, it can be operations, it can be HR, it can be marketing, or it can be management information systems scenarios, whatever may be the case. Understand the setting. Who, what, when, where are the questions that we need to ask for that, depending upon the case. I'm generalizing it. Okay. Next is highlighting the key characters, facts, and the problem domain. So next step would be, now here, of course, identify. Write down in rough page. Highlight the key characters. What is that? And write down the facts of the case. And then what is the problem domain? What is it? What is the problem domain? Unless you understand clearly the problem minded, your solutions will definitely go wrong. See, take the case of um, a patient who goes to the doctor, right, for a drug or whatever, because a patient suffer from some ailment, go to the doctor. So what the doctor will do normally, first ask you to sit and look at some normal tests and all, touches your pulse and all, and with stat, yeah, the doctor examines your breathing scenarios and all that. And then if you say that I'm suffering from fever for the last 2 3 days and all, then immediately he may go for diagnostic tests. You need to identify what is there in it. Of course, he can give you some, antibiotic or with some what you call medicines supported by antibiotics. But before his treatment starts, he must be assured of what is exactly the problem with which you're suffering. So then, of course, he asks you to go for X-rays or blood examination, whatever, urine examination, all that, depending upon the doubts the problem, as a doubt the doctor will have, first looking at you and your complaints. That's why I said that you need to read the case first clearly. Then, of course, second is that having read the case clearly, identify the core problem. Please note, there are very many problems surround around, many problems that surround around the core problem. So you need to go in for identification of a very core problem. That's it. Very, very important. And then ask, what is the central issue, core issue, or challenge faced given the problem? Now, differentiate between symptoms and the root problems. That's very, very important. Symptom may be distorting. Symptom is different from root problems. For example, if you say doctor, to go to the doctor and say, sir, I'm experiencing cough and all that. Why cough? Okay, it's not simply that it is simple cough and all that. He can prescribe some anti cough what drugs or what, like Benadryl or cough syrups or whatever. No, he asks you to go for X-ray, chest X-ray. If he repeatedly you're coughing, then that can identify the root problem as such. Same is the case here. So differentiate between symptoms and root problems. When you read through the case, the problem there may be, you may identify certain surface problems, but those surface problems are not real problems as such. Those are symptoms of a bigger problem. So that's why thrice reading, and carefully reading gets you into the root cause, the root problems as such. So the second step is to take a proper care on identification of the core problem in the case. Okay, problem has been identified. What is the problem has been identified here? In this case, if I say extend the example I'm giving, your problem is coughing continuously, and there's a breathing problem as such. Now, doctor starts analyzing this, getting your chest X-ray, or if you want still more, you go for MRI or whatever. And then the doctor starts analyzing why this is cough supported with, along with fever you're getting. How do you feel about it? All these things. This is called analyzing the situation. Same is the case when you're ready with the surface problems to be identified and core problem is to be identified and all. And then the third step would be analyzing the situation. How do you analyze the situation? And I already told you that doctor, in our example here, doctor has a lot of things, frameworks for analysis with the patient. He asks for blood examination and all the routine tests as such, and physical examination and all. And after that, regarding the X-rays and all MRIs and other things will follow. Same is the case when you talk about a business scenario. If to be more clearly analyzing the problem, you have to have a lot of frameworks. So, for example, first framework is SWOT analysis, what we often refer to as. I think you are well aware with that. You identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and then you can identify clearly what are these SWOT through SWOT analysis. Then there is a possibility for you to convert weaknesses into strengths and convert threats into opportunities. I mean, I'm just hypothesizing it. Depending upon the case you'll be looking at this. So that's one framework which we discuss. They analyze the case. Then, of course, a very popular thing, if you want to study the environmental issues regarding a particular business organization as such, this is called pestle form. That is a legal environment, social environment, technological environment, political environment, economic environment. So what are the environmental pressures, if at all, the company is experiencing? And then Porter's five forces model. I need not have to tell you. I think you might have study the competition, the extent of competition, etc., etc. There are. And about in marketing, mostly you have four P's for marketing cases, or seven P's for marketing cases, where we see four P's are about product, price, place, promotion, and three are added: people, process, and physical evidence in case of services. So you should have a complete format how you are going to analyze a particular problem. So in case of finance, of course, I need not have to tell you, there's a finance based cases also are there. You identify the financial sickness of the particular company or financial weakness of the particular scenario here, something going wrong on profitability issues, or what is that, or even cost accounting scenario is problematic, cost is increasing, and you are not in a position to track the or trace the costs properly. So all things. Okay, after studying the problem and analyzing the problem, then next step is to identify alternatives. Now don't go quick on solutions, mind it. I have already told you. Are you studying a surface problem or a hidden core problem? That's it. Very important. Use analysis, analytical mind. Okay, identify alternatives. Let it be one, two, three, four, five. List two, three possible courses of action on that. Please note, two, three possible courses of action. See, you can't think in vacuum. Please note, all the courses of action must be implementable, mind it. People often question your actions. See, is it implementable? What is that, sir? You're talking about it. Please be grounded and then talk. People say that. The problem is your solution may not suit to the existing environmental constraints of your organization. I mean to say, the organization whose case you're studying. So, possible courses of action, at least two, three, according to your according to the homework done by you on studying all the facts of the case. Then evaluate pros and cons of each, plus and minus. What we say, pros means plus and cons means minus. What are plus and what are minuses? Two, three issues. Then, after that, next comes your decision point. Recommend the best solution. Whatever it is, depending upon the homework you have done, depending upon lot of things involved in the case churning with the problems that are being identified and all. Then, of course, choose the best alternative. Okay, I have already told you, any alternative that you're going to suggest must be implementable. It must be feasible. Don't be, what I should say. You give a solution which is not at all implementable, which is not flexible enough, and all. A lot of problems are there, and the solution will not align with the goals of the organization. So these things count a lot again. So best alternative should be based on one is flexibility or feasibility. should be feasible or implementable, right? Not. That should be the case. If at all there's any limitations on implementability, no, then flexibility is not there, then of course your decision is not taken. I mean, that alternative is not workable. Number two is cost effective. You should not go for penny wise, pound foolish as such. It seems that your suggestion is quite good, but it should be cost effective within the basic ground rule of our financial planning and the financial strength we have. You can't give a solution which is not cost effective minded. Depending upon your size and operation and all that, you have to have your financial health and all. And any solution that's not for short term minded, mostly you all the solutions need be for creating a long term impact. Suggest ways in which we can go for taking decisions which have a long term impact, and then of course your goals and objectives are there. So whatever you do must align with the goals and objectives, in line with the goals and objectives. And ultimately you say that no, no, this is not aligning with our company goals and all that, so we can't implement it. So these are the issues: feasibility, flexibility, cost effectiveness, long term impact, and alignment with the goals. Now, taking all these into consideration, the sixth step is suggest an implementation plan. Now it's up to you to look into it. Okay, now it is good enough. We can go for implementation. Now, suggest what are the steps with a timeline. Provide an action steps within a timeline. See this critical approach, critical thinking approach in answering a company's problem. So suggest an implementation plan, provide action steps with a timeline, and mention who will do that, who will do what, how, and by when. Timeline. When means timeline. So these things must be crystal clear when you are suggesting. Then, third important thing is after answering the process issues there, how do you draw inferences from the case? Because only data will be given to you. Company's case will be given to you. Drawing inferences from the case, back inferences with data from the case. See, please note that you have to back inferences with data. Use quantitative reasoning where applicable. For example, if you want to take you're considering on profitability issues and all that, you have a lot of metrics, profitability metrics. Say, for example, you calculate ratio analysis and talk about liquidity position of the company, or you look at earnings per share issues and say what is the profitability that is going on. I mean, if the company is profitability is coming down or profitability is increasing, what is the areas of concern and all these things. Then after using this quantitative reasoning or even qualitative reasoning also, link actions to strategic implications. అంటే మనం ఒక వ్యూహాత్మకంగా వెళ్ళాలన్నమాట. ఏం చాలా ఉంటాయి, బట్ యూ షుడ్ బి లుకింగ్ at a particular strategy in which get into this. That strategy is very, very important. You should also suggest a strategy. Look at, we can have a learning from Mahabharata strategy. Abhimanyu is a warrior in the when the Kurukshetra war is being fought between Kauravas and Pandavas, right? So Abhimanyu is from the Kauravas side. You know that Abhimanyu is a great warrior, skilled warrior. So in order to fight with Abhimanyu, you know what was happening? They formulated what you call Padma Vyuha, inviting him onto that, and then ultimately got him. Of course, it all depends. I'm not referring to either ethical or unethical issues here, because that's again a separate topic by itself. See, unless you have a strategy identified, it's not possible for you to link actions with the strategic implications. So see, then consider ethical, social, and managerial implications. Need note here. That's why I'm talking to you about ethical issues and social issues and managerial implications. Idea may be very brilliant, and on the face of it, it works. Like this idea works well and all that. Everybody gets convinced, but then consider the other things. Like, is it ethical? Is it social? And what are the managerial implications on this? What sort of changes that are necessary here? All these things must be. That is the thing. Fourth one, your presentation comes now. So see the homework. First three steps. If these first three steps you are good enough in that professional excellence of reading, identifying the problem, analyzing the problem clearly, and then after suggesting alternative solutions, I mean, after working out alternative solutions, fact based, data based, and all that, you come to fourth point, how to present your findings. See, I'm talking about from the examination standpoint of view only. So, your written exam presentation structure should be like this, my dear friends. You give an introduction, 3-4 lines of the problem, and then state the background of the case. Please note how you are going to present the case in an examination standpoint. So don't restrict yourself for only from examination standpoint. In case where you appear for interviews, group discussions, where also you have this case presentations as a filtration process, filtering the students out. So introduction is 3-4 lines. State the background of the case clearly. State the problem statement clearly. Define central issues very, very clearly. These is the first three core aspects. And then, of course, is analysis comes next. What is the basis for your recommendation? How can you convince the top management that this is the problem? This is the solution that is suggested. Present your analysis. Then use appropriate models and frameworks that are discussed. You can't think of your own blind logic. You may not say, no, I know, I'm very much convinced that this works well, that work. No, let your understanding be scientific, acceptable. So use appropriate models and frameworks, and present in points or paragraphs with subheadings clearly. Because please note that you're presenting a document, a very valid document of your analysis of a company's problem. So let the document be very, very qualitative, and it should be completely understandable, mind it. So it's not a rough sketch of things like, do this, do that, and all. And if you present in an organized fashion, that report can never be understood clearly. Okay, that's it. With presentation in points and paragraphs with subheadings, etc. Then you can also suggest alternatives and evaluation exercise that you have taken up, that also can be given here. And list pros and cons in a tabular or a bullet form. What are your alternative 1, pros, cons, alternative 2, pros, cons, alternative 3, pros, cons. Don't go in for more and more alternatives. Make yourself clear that you can talk about only 3 alternatives. Of course, 3 is not a standard, but I'm telling you, you can identify 1 or 2. So 1, 2, 3 alternatives, evaluate and generate evidence for that, and then start recommending. That's recommendation. Clearly state your chosen course of action with justification, minded, because there are a lot of things involved here in order to implement your decision. The recommendation is just not a recommendation itself. It is implementable, minded. It should be implemented, it should be feasible. It should be good enough from the financial health of the company as such. So that's it. Justification is very important, your course of action. That's why your report must have a very crystal clear justification. Then, of course, next is an implementation plan. How you're going to implement this and all that. Okay. When you're implementing it, please note that you're supposed to introduce the timelines, bullet point steps, timelines. This decision, during this. And then at the end, you give a powerful conclusion. Start with powerful introduction and end with powerful, power-packed conclusion, case analysis. That is a very, very professional approach of answering a case, maybe from examination standpoint or from the interview standpoint, group discussion standpoint, or your presentations, in case where you're participating in fests and case study competitions, as Upendra sir was telling me just now, that the AICT conducts a lot of case competitions, or even most of the colleges and universities today invite you to participate in case competitions. Participate in those things. So all these things counted out. Okay. And then summarize with expected outcomes and impact. Uh, and what I told you, you may be the case study method and presentation of case analysis is not strictly meant for written examination as such. In most of the business schools and universities and colleges, case-based viva or group presentations also are conducted normally. So then you will have again the same approach, but then little variation should be there. So if you're supposed to make a group presentation, I'm supposed to answer somebody in the process of your case, problem recommendations as such. Okay, in competitions or in recruitment exercise also as well. Start with a very brief overview of the case first. Please note that there is a structured flow. What is the structured flow? First is a problem. Second is your analysis. Third is your options or alternatives suggested. And fourth one is recommended alternative and why and all that. And of course, make use of visuals or flow charts if followed. In case where, of course, there is a chance for you to have a presentation of a chart or on a whiteboard or a blackboard if you want to. They provide you. Suppose you're going to a competition, right? You can prepare for a nice chart and all that. Okay, you can go and make a presentation, visual presentation as such. Depends. Make use of visuals or flow charts if allowed. But in case of group interviews, please note that you will be supplied with all the material like charts and sketch pens and all that. That's very interesting. You can make use of visuals or flow charts if allowed. And please note that you should be confident enough in presentations. Don't shiver in your shoes, mind it. Please be confident. Please be crystal clear about how you are going to present. This should be by practice. So this kind of regular absence from classwork will not give you the extra advantage. So please be attending to the classes regularly. Take the faculty or suggestions and all that. Participate in discussions and all. See, routine stuff like reading books and reading materials and appearing for examinations, scoring 70, 80, 90 does not mean something. Because if you say that in an interview board, sir, I won a gold medal in MBA, and the interviewer may say, okay, hold on, have it, exhibit to somebody. No, gold medals, etc. Not. I'm not denying merit again. My intention is that the recruiter should view you as a potential candidate for them, and then only they can invite you to their management team. So please be confident enough. So please take practice. Attend regularly the classes, group discussions, etc. Take faculty guidance. Fortunately, you have faculty like Upendra sir is there working out 24/7 to give you so many practical inputs through very many participative exercises models. I'm very much excited when he was telling to me like this is the thing and this is the thing, how I'm going to involve students and all that beautiful methodology he has got at his point of view. So please take advantage, my dear student friends here. I'm making a very sincere effort to all of you who are listening to me, the Hindu College Machilipanam MBA program students who are sincerely listening to me. Take the first step today itself. And please note that you're supposed to be very logical in your presentations. You're supposed to be very concise in your presentations. Okay, then after presentation, that's not all. Of course, in the examinations, you write a case and you hand over the script to the invigilator, that's all. But here, in case of recruitment exercises or in competitions, etc., your job is not will not end at just presentation. Anticipate one to follow questions minded. The interviewer may ask you, what is this, what is that, why this, why not this, and all that. Anything, any question. Anticipate one, at least one, two, three follow questions you must get ready with, because you have to substantiate. You have to substantiate what you have spoken. So that's very important. Now, a few important steps for you, my dear friends, before I close this session. Practice multiple case types. Either you may be with HR, marketing, finance, strategy, operations, whatever subjects you're learning. Of course, even because we are fortunate that you are at least have a double specialization. Some universities have micro specializations, go deep into the particular what you call specialization itself. So whatever may be your specializations, right from the first year, first semester to last semester as such, case method is said to be very, 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 very important for you to train yourself minded. Time yourself while writing or presenting the case. Time management is very, very important. And then group discussions help improve perspective and argument strength. So why can't you take the this kind of exercises here? Your institution is giving you a lot of facility to come, sit, discuss. So why can't you participate in group discussions? What is the advantage? Yes, you can improve your perspective minded. Whenever you say something, other person says something, and the group discussions happen seriously, you can understand, oh, there is one more point, I missed it. So this is a different perspective. You can improve your perspective in looking at things differently. And when you put forward your argument, see others' argument, maybe in favor or against your argument. So when you are experiencing this kind of an exercise, then yes, you can build up your argument strength. How you present your logical arguments, how to win over others in the process of presenting your, logical arguments. That's argumentative strength you can have. Then stay updated with business news, especially in case where you're participating in interviews and all that. Make sure that you stay updated with business news to improve real world connections. That's why I told you that you should be good enough in networking. Almost most of you do not have these LinkedIn accounts. Immediately go and open LinkedIn accounts and start networking with peers. Then, when you're presenting your specific answers, avoid ambiguity. No sweeping statements minded. Crystal clear answer to a question. As far as possible. You don't, of course, when there may be qualitative analysis also is there, but then as far as possible, avoid ambiguity and be specific clearly in answers. Then please note again another golden tip here is always develop analytical mind and stay thinking positive. Clear to you? Always develop analytical mind. When you have this analytical mind, please be participating in group discussions. Then only you can have. Or answer cases at home. Read through cases. Bring, there are a lot of textbooks that are available. Pick up cases. Try to look at on all detailed case and then try to work out on a solution. Go for this exercise. It's not always learning at college. You can do learning at home. If you don't have the texts on cases and all, okay. But most of the time, you have most of the texts here, financial management, text and cases, marketing management, text and cases. They're how the titles go. So in case you don't have, go to the internet. All right, I don't know how many of you are using AI facility as well, content generation. So there are n plus one number of resources, my dear friends, to help yourself and learn well. With this, I close. Thank you, friends, for being with me. But please note that you have to use all the learning, facilities and atmosphere of the college to attend regularly and take the advantage. Thank you very much.